Hello and welcome to test number 8, looking at math skills in chemistry. So here we have our very first question, looking at a reaction, and what are we looking at here? So, a student reacted zinc with dilute hydrochloric acid and measured the volume of hydrogen gas produced. She repeated the experiment 5 times. The results are shown in the table below. Calculate the mean volume of hydrogen produced and give your answer to 3 significant figures. Now, I've highlighted that because a lot of students forget to do that second part. The first one, working out the volume, the mean volume, that's straightforward. Add up all 5 of the results and divide it by 5 and you get 23.18. However, because the answer is to 3 significant figures, and this is where the second mark comes in, is 23.2 because 18 is close to 2, 20. So 23.2. So make sure you always read the whole question is my sort of bit of advice for that one. Now this one is quite a nice little question because it is asking you to look at ratios. The number of carbon, oxygen and hydrogen atoms in 4 different acids is shown on the chart below. The ratio of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen atoms in one acid is 2:1 in its simplest form. Identify which acid has this ratio of atoms. Now to me there's a lot of information in that question and I'm like, I need to make sure I get this right. So all I've done here is just taken the symbols CHO, put them there, and then I've put the ratio that corresponds. So 2:1. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is work out for each of the different acids how much we've got. So, and this is, again, you've got to be careful because they've actually mixed them up. They're not in the right order. So, my ratio for carbon, first of all, and do it in the same order. So, carbon is at the top, and if I work that out, that is 1 block. Hydrogen is at the bottom. So, if I work out, that's 2 blocks. And then if I work out the oxygen, that's in 2. So, that's 1, 2, 2. So, that tells me straight away that it's not that one. Okay? This one, in its simplest form, so ethanoic acid is 2 lots of carbon, 4 lots of hydrogen, and 2 lots of oxygen. But in its simplest form, it's 1:1, which is not what we're looking for, so it's not that one. If I look at propanoic acid, I've got 3 lots of carbon, so I work out there, so between 8 and 11, I've got 3 lots. I've got 6 lots of hydrogen and I've got 2 lots of oxygen. Again, no, that's not the same ratio. Whereas butanoic acid, I've got 4 lots of carbon, I've got 8 lots of hydrogen and I've got 2 lots of oxygen. But in its simplest form, I half it and then I get 2:1, and that is exactly what I'm looking for, so the answer is butanoic acid. So I've shown my working out and I've identified the acid that is needed. Okay, this question is a straightforward molar mass question. It's 2 marker. Use the following formula to calculate the mass of 1.8 moles of potassium hydroxide. The relative formula mass is 56. So the exam board really nicely here have worked that out for me already. Again, I'll take my calculation, put it into a triangle. There's my divide line, mass goes at the top. So I look at my triangle, I want to work out the mass, so I put my finger over there and I know that it's moles times relative formula mass. The moles are 1.8, the mass is 56, that times that is 100.8. Straightforward question, but that's for 2 marks, so that's a nice easy one to pick up. Now this one's a little bit more difficult. This is a 4 marker, but this is asking you to work out a gradient and work out what's going on, but with a curve. And it's always difficult when you're looking at a curve because you need to draw a tangent line. The graph below shows the mass of a gas product lost from a reaction vessel in 100 seconds. Calculate the rate of reaction at 40 seconds and include the units for the rate in your answer. Okay, so first of all, I try to draw a line at 40 seconds so that it hits it at 90 degrees, but I've got equal gaps on either side so that I can see that's about as close to a good tangent as I can get. So my change in y, so if I'm looking at the y-axis here, is 1.75, take away 1.35 is 0.4. My change in x is 56 take away 30, which is 26 seconds. 0.4 divided by 26 equals 0.015. But the thing I have missed off here is it also says include the units, and all you do there is you just take that, and you just put grams per second, and that is your units, and that will get you your 4th mark. Okay, and I look forward to seeing you in test number 9.